Next up, we have the potato. I'm using a sweet potato today, but the concept is the same. So, here's the thing with cutting. You want to control the situation. A potato is round. That's not great for me or the potato. So what am I going to do? Give myself a flat surface. The first thing we're going to do is cut potatoes for fries. Sort of a julienne, a little bit larger. So, anticipating the size of my sweet potato fry, I'm going to cut off what I'm going to call the bottom of the potato. Now I have a flat surface on which to lay my potato. Now I'm going to cut slices. And what I want to do is minimize the amount of work I have. So I'm going to cut slices long way. That just means less slices for me later. One more. Now I'm going to take my slices and lay them down side by side. Now I'm going to cut my actual fries out of it. Now, if you wanted perfect, beautiful fries, you could cut the ends off, square everything, save those ends for something special later, line it up, same thing, cut my other ends off. You don't have to do this. It does create extra potato, but if you have a use for it, go for it. All right, now we're going to slice our fries. Tucking my fingers safely out of the way, but making sure I have a nice good grip, keeping that potato locked to the board. Cutting my fries. Now, when I have something hard that I'm slicing into, I don't just mash the knife down. What I do is ease the knife into what I'm cutting. Once I know it's bit, then I push down and slide it through. And now we have nice and even sweet potato fries. Don't forget about that last piece. Hopefully I planned properly and it will match the rest of my fries. Beautiful. All right, that is how you slice a sweet potato. How about dicing? Same concept, same beginning. Create a bottom for ourselves that it can sit flat on. I'm actually going to discard that because it's not going to match my little squares. So here we go. Same idea, again, slices in the size of the dice you want. So we want to work on, let's start with a large dice. I'm going to get about 3 slices total. And again, I give myself just the right amount to work with. Put it down, match the width in your next cut. Here we go, nice big dice. Turn it the other way. If you want to square it off, again, you can. Just make sure you have some use for that. And here we go. Large diced sweet potato into our bowl. And don't forget about your last piece. Square it off. When I'm working with dices, especially large dice, I'm going to discard whatever doesn't match because it won't cook evenly. When the large dice is done cooking, everything else will be mush. So we want to keep things as uniform as possible. Same concept for a medium dice. Here we go. Give myself a nice flat surface. And this time, just to save myself a little energy, I'm going to take the ends off first. Measuring for my medium dice. Let that knife bite in, then slice down. Set it down side by side. Here we go. We're going to cut for our medium dice. Notice I keep everything together as much as possible That really ensures uniformity throughout the cut. And here we go. Now, I have big hands, I can do this. If you don't have massive hands, split it up into a size that you can work with. Beautiful. And there you have medium dice into our prep bowl. Last but not least, the small dice. This time, I'm going to be a little bit more detailed, taking that bottom off, taking my ends off. I'm actually going to take the sides off as well. That looks good. And again, we are measuring for the size of our dice. For small dice, I like to break it into even more manageable parts. That way I get a really controlled slice. 1 or 2 stacked. And here we go. The next stage. Let's do them all at the same time. I find when you're cutting vegetables, the more of one motion you do at once, the more uniform everything is. So I like to do one aspect of it. In this case, I'm slicing them sort of into the julienne before I turn them into dices, and then I come back and do my dicing. So we're gonna start here, nice and controlled. And you'll notice I'm using the knuckles on my left hand to control where the blade is moving. Watch those knuckles and watch the blade. My thumb keeps the bundle together. My knuckles control how far the blade moves. Our last bundle. Obviously, the small dice is going to cook the fastest out of all the cuts. So that's great if you want to do like a pan hash, something that you need all the other ingredients to cook quickly in. Small dice is the way to go. Well, that's 4 ways to cut a sweet potato, or any potato, or really any round potato-like thing.